We will use that to generate a document in Finland during the convention of which we are going to use to demand the recognition of Biafra. That's all. You can't beat everything. They can never. So we will fight to a point that everybody will say, Biafra, come to the table, let's talk and validate your nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. And that is very, very reassuring. I'm sure a lot of people will be very reassured by that. Nigeria is still at their old tricks. But then one last question I also have had on my mind for quite a while. A few weeks ago, we also saw Tinubu in China. And I found myself wondering if there was any sort of arms negotiation or deals involved, and if there's any foreign countries, involved in trying to sell arms to Nigeria. And I found myself wondering this because around that time was when Obunigwe run on one of those their main armory. So I was also even wondering, but this last bit, if for strategic reasons you might not need to equal Kumakia, but I was wondering if because I was trying to find all the videos, what type of armor was that? Was it the Gazru from China or Gazru from Russia? Thank you.
We don't care where they are buying weapons from. What we care is that when they come, we kill as many as possible in self-defense. So if their weapon is more powerful than our own, good luck to them. Overall, the system. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, we move. Citizen Dama, over to you.
Good evening, Honorable PM and the Minister of Information and his team. Honorable Prime Minister, what is your concept of Pan-Africanism and how does it align with your struggle and the concept of Africa's unity in diversity? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Africa unity in diversity can only be possible in a disintegrated Africa. You understand me? You have to disintegrate Africa and then form a united force. Just like the same thing Europe did. Nobody is asking questions. None of you, the educated ones or the researchers, are researching why is Europe progressing? Why is European Union making progress? Have you ever asked yourself such question and go into research? I want to research on European Union. What European Union did that they have now stand out, above other nations. Let the people who call themselves researchers, who parade their big names and titles, to go into work and do it, and do the research. In the early 40s, Europe was a war zone. In the early 30s, 20s, Europe was a war zone. When you hear World War I, it was in Europe. When you hear World War II, it was in Europe. Even this same World War III that they are talking about is being fought by Europe. Now, the World War ended. Ask yourself, what did Europe do? That made them stand very, very tall. Sorry? Am I still coming out?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
So what did Europe do that they stand out very tall, and today everybody is running to Europe and nobody is, including those who call themselves professors. They are running to Europe for greener pasture. Do you know why? Because Europe disintegrated and they formed a formidable force. We live here. We know the system. That's why we are fighting, so we can be the Pan-Africanists, especially those who are very, very sensible, shouting Pan-Africanists, knows exactly why they are doing it. I am one of them. And the reason I'm doing what I'm doing is that Africa will get disintegrated and unite to become a formidable force. And of course, many of them will not accept that. So we are not going to the Pan-Africa to start fighting. We'll start from Biafra. Give us our freedom first. We are taking the freedom by force. In the oldies, Finland, Sweden were together. In the oldest, Scandinavia, all the countries that made up Scandinavia were all together. Many of them were part of Russia and USSR. Are you aware of that? And so what happened? What happened? They disintegrated. And after disintegration, they begin to form a formidable force called the European Union. Not only that, inside the European Union, they begin to form what they call Schengen state. They begin to form Schengen. And not every country in the European Union is a member of Schengen state. So you have to attain a certain level of decency in your country for you to be accepted into Schengen state. You know what it means? After disintegration, they begin to form a force called European Union. It didn't end in the European Union. They also formed a Schengen state where they have a single visa system. So with the Schengen visa, you can travel anywhere. But do you know one thing? Some of the people that are in the European Union are not even allowed to enter Europe, to enter Schengen state. Do you know that? Some of the people that are in Europe, that are not even in the European Union, but are in Europe, they are not allowed to enter Schengen state without meeting some certain requirement. That is the kind of the Pan-Africans that every sensible person is looking for. Disintegrate this nonsense, dangerous diversity, and let the people go on their way, develop themselves, and come together to form a formidable force for the benefit of every African. That is what Europe did. Why can't we do it? Thank you.
All right, we go to the next hand up. Onyechi Kamalu. Onyechi Kamalu, over to you.
Greetings to the Prime Minister of the People's Republic. Greetings to the Honorable Ministers of Biafran government in exile. Greetings to Biafrans all over the world, and greetings to lovers of freedom all over the world. My question to my dearest Prime Minister is, would Biafra be a West African country or a Central African country? I ask because West Africa is very terror inclined, and our Central African and Eastern African brothers behave more like us, whether religiously or culturally or even genetically. That's my first question, sir.
I think you know what is geography.
Yes, sir.
In the map, are we in the west or in the east?
Yeah, I was asking in terms of how integrated we are to the West or the Central Africa.
It is not.
Which would be more beneficial to us.
It is not about the position of the Biafrans in the map. What matters is the orientation and the system of Biafra. It is not the map. It is not your position in the map that will change, the paradigm. Paradigm changes by the system of the government, which we are bringing better than any country in Africa. So at the end of the day, those people you want to be like, we begin to learn, and they want to be like you. Because we are bringing the civilization that is lacking in Africa completely. That's what we are bringing. So it is not the position of the map. And let me also tell you that as it is today, they call you Southeast. Are you Southeast? You are not Southeast. Right? Look at the map of Nigeria. You are not Southeast. Southeast is Adamawa State. But they called you Southeast, and this idiot who claimed to be educated and the professors, they are all speaking English in Aso Rock. Nobody is asking question. How are you calling the Biafra people Southeast? Who made this thing possible? Who brought this name, and gave to the people in the old Eastern Nigeria? And they say this is Southeast. And when you look at the map, it's not even in the east. In Eastern Nigeria, it is south. For crying out loud. They use south. The southern Nigeria. Biafra land is in the southern Nigeria. Not southeast, not southwest, southern Nigeria. So I don't know whether the time of the naming of these things that the Fulani man in charge turned it upside down, and the southeast and the Biafra land become Adamawa. Because if you turn it upside down, you see that what I'm saying is the truth. Can you turn the Nigeria map upside down? You will see where Biafra is. It's actually in the southeast. If you turn it upside down. So maybe they turned the map upside down and the person did not know, and then they draw the equator and all that and give you a name. And nobody is debunking this thing. I don't know why nobody is talking. No, I mean, and they even give you south. Yet they know it was wrong. And every day they come to social media, they come to television house, and they fault how wrong it was to give some place south. South does not exist in geography, but they gave it and they accepted it. And it has become a global blunder. Who did it? Fulani. And you are a professor, you have doctors in your place, and none of these doctors rose up to challenge the impunity they have done with geography. They accepted it, and today, some of them are telling you how they are south. We are not southeast, though. We are south. They give an allocation, they give NDDC, all they are after is how to make money. They forget there is nothing like south. And they accepted it. So, my brother, it is not about the position you are in the map. It is about the system that changes everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. My second question about
Please hold on before you go on. My PM, we have exhausted the 20 minutes. We are using 1 extra minute. I don't know if you want to extend the time.
All right. I think he wanted to ask something. He said abandoned property.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask about the abandoned property decree, a tool used by Gowon to impoverish Biafrans after the war. Like my grandfather had properties in areas like Port Harcourt. I don't know if the Biafran government, those of us that suffered such losses, we can still reclaim or make official demands and it will be recognized by the Biafran government.
That has happened is a sacrifice. We are not revisiting that particular issue again. Under Biafra government, we have moved on. And God has blessed us more than those who were used to take our properties. I want you to understand that some Biafrans committed even more atrocities than those who took our properties. Are you not aware? Are you going to compare the politicians that you have that is representing Nigeria today in Biafra land with those who took your properties? They have done worse than those who took your properties. So God has blessed us with the $20 or 20 pounds. We have been able to overtake many of those who took our properties. So we're not revisiting that again. And that is the assurance that we have to give to every Biafran. So those thinking that we are coming to fight war internally for property that was abandoned, you are coming late. It's not going to happen. We'll move on, build a system that will work for everybody, where everybody will be happy. Nobody will remember property. Property of 1967.
All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we'll bring you back-to-back update and information as to the halt. In case you have not joined our social media handle, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first. We will collect them. Information will be say they drop for my table now. Now concerning the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. The Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Master Simon Ekpa, has also laughed at this information. But myself, I go to bring on to you. Finland-based Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, have continued to remain silent over the matter as his men keeps holding the DO hostage. Very soon, Simon Ekpa will be held responsible for all the pregnancies in the region. Violence escalates in Bakassi, 6 killed, Cameroonian forces flee as Biafra Dragon Black Marine launches attack in Bakassi Peninsula. Cameroonian forces is said to have fled part of the Idabato following reprisal attack by Biafra separatist armed groups. Report says that as at 6 a.m. this morning, the Black Marine, looking terrifying and battle-ready, left Abana to the high sea to team up with the Dragon Fighter Marine when they encountered the BIR Delta and opened fire, killed 6 at a spot. The rest battalion fled with their gunboats. Until now, the division officer of Idabato is still missing. He was apprehended in his district, an area which seems to have fallen under the Dragon Fighter Marine. Finland-based Simon Ekpa, Prime Minister of Biafra Republic government in exile, have continued to remain silent over this matter as his men keeps holding the DO hostage. Also, tell my people, Simon Ekpa is not only Wokike in Alibo, he's also taking it to the Cameroon. Of course, you know that the Abanas, who wants to secede from Cameroon, are still fighting tooth and nail to make sure that they move out of Cameroon and become Biafra. And of course, you know that this part of the land where this struggle is going on today was given to the Cameroonian during the Olusegun Obasanjo regime, who sold out the people of the Bakassi Peninsula. Of course, there was a referendum then, and these people were given to the Cameroonians. And when these people were asked, up until today, they still believe that they are not part of Cameroon. They say that their main land is their main land is Biafra land, and that is where they have chosen to be. And up until now, they are still fighting. And as the day goes by, they are still repressing the Cameroonian forces. They are still taking down and taking back the Cameroonian forces, and they are still possessing a lot of places as they be. Meanwhile, right on my table, and if you look at your screen, you will see it, is the map of the 40 states of Biafra Confederation. You will see Ekpa, Kogi State, you will see Upper Benue State, you will see Ondo State, you will see Ambazonia. Make I see if I will be able to read out some states where we say it inside this map, because the map is very tiny, but I fit use my microscopic eye to be able to read it out for you. There are states like Capital Koko, Uyeli, Igbodo, Bonny Capital, Uyo Capital, Orong Capital, Calabar Capital, Obure Capital, Obudu Capital, Ogoja Capital, Konishasha Capital, and Bonny Capital. These are some of the states that are captured in the 40 states of the indigenous people of Biafra. You see also Aba Capital, Owerri Capital, Iguaha Capital, Omoko, that's in Omo Capital, Yenegua Capital, I think Mbise is here too. Mbise Capital, Abonima Capital, Igbodo Capital, Asaba Capital. These are some of the states that are captured in the 40 states of the indigenous people of Biafra. You can see that the boys are not playing, the boys are not smiling, the boys are ready out, and they have been working. But on my own point, from the observation of the just concluded 2-day sit at home in the land of the indigenous people of Biafra, which was held Monday and Tuesday, you will find out that it was very hard for people to be able to purchase food commodities. And I started wondering, what if we ran into war? What is actually going to happen? And I believe that the best war in this 21st century is the war of pen and paper. No more barrier of gun, but everything should be done with pen and paper if Biafra actually want to actualize their freedom. Of course, you know that the world has become very civilized now, and the world is really ready to listen. And Simon Ekpa dropped something. He said, if you told them in 2021 that a day like this will come, where those killing Biafrans that were being pushed to the streets to get killed by the Nigerian terrorist government will be dealt with mercilessly, they will never believe you. They made themselves gods. They made themselves gods, but today they can't enter their villages because the people they killed, their colleagues are after them. Many of them have terrorists at HQQ Nigerian Army checking point in front of their houses because they know what is coming. I think Simon Ekpa is actually referring to government officials and government parastatals who have refused to look into the killing and into the mass destruction that is currently going on in the land of the indigenous people of Biafra. Yes, you can agree with me that the people we have in the government today are now turning this case to become the issue of the this issue of insecurity in the southeast to become a business. As far back as 2002 or thereabouts, yes, as far back as 2002, as far back as 2012, as far back as 2010, 2007, and 2005, we used to hear things like the issue of insecurity, the issue of ISWAP, the issue of BH, and the sub-Saharan. And little did we know that this issue of insecurity was approaching our own domot, and today it is there. That is why our people say that no onye flock kwebo na bonsi nyakabalo chupia makano monya wa gemegini monya wa gato yeah. When these things were happening, our people thought that somehow this thing is not going to get to Ali Igbo, and they felt that after all it's just happening in the sub-Saharan, it's just happening over there in the north, but now it is happening here. Now, somebody commented, he said, cousins, their ancestors, even their own enemies to fight me, yet, Uche Gigeme Anyanwototo, Kano has always stood tall in the presence of her enemies, Okara Madu, Okara Mo, she who is of the waters, the earth, the sun feeds off the air, she who understands the rhythm of the spirit dance called Surugede, she who understands the connotation of the four cardinal points of the earth, firmed within the four elements of the earth. He said, I warned my husband of all these workers of iniquities, but then we are where we are now. But one thing they must understand is that their tattoo is the absolute projection of their inadequacies. What they truly are and represent. I have a pending topic on the spiritual, psychological, and emotional damage impact of a mother's. Okay, as it be now, Mazi, I think this is coming from Mazi Nandikano's wife, who is lamenting of the of the husband's effort to be able to save the indigenous people of Biafra. According to her, that he warned the wife. He warned the husband so much, but as it is, the husband did not listen. But one thing you should know about the fight for freedom is that fight for freedom is not what comes easily. Like I will always say, it takes time, it takes stress, it takes energy, it takes resources, and sometimes it takes obara, which is blood too. But IPOB themselves have also disowned the Tuesday sit at home. Even Simon Ekpa himself has said that he was not the one that declared the Tuesday sit at home, and apart from the more usual Monday sit at home, that the 2-day sit at home is not part of his plan. IPOB disowns later sit at home in Southeast, reviews those behind. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has said the group did not declare the proposed 2-day sit at home in Nigeria Southeast. IPOB is a group agitating for the independent state of Biafra, which it once carved out from the Southeast and some parts of the South-South Nigeria. 2 weeks ago, A video clip went viral on social media showed an unidentified man asking residents of the southeast to observe sit-at-home on 21st and 22nd of October. The man in the clip claimed the sit-at-home was declared because Biafran soldiers within the period would launch their armored vehicles and hoist Biafra flag in the southeast. He also claimed that the sit-at-home order was to avoid innocent residents being hit by stray bullets in the event of a shootout between Biafra fighters and personnel of the NIG army. The video clip elicited several reactions and caused tension in the southeast, with the police asking residents of the region to disregard the illegal order. But the spokesperson of the IPOB, Ekpa Powerful, told Premium Times on Monday that the separatist group did not declare the sit-at-home in the southeast. IPOB did not order the 2-day sit-at-home, and we don't want to talk about it, and we don't want to create panic over order from inconsequential fellows, Mr. Powerful told this newspaper. The spokesperson said IPOB did not issue an official statement on the illegal order to avoid giving it undue popularity. Mr. Powerful said those calling for the 2-day sit-at-home in the southeast were those infiltrated the IPOB led by Nnamdi Kanu. The spokesperson urged residents of the southeast to disregard the illegal order and go about their normal businesses. Our people should ignore such obnoxious orders from criminals working for the government to tarnish the peaceful image of the IPOB movement, he said. Meanwhile, a controversial Biafra agitator, Simon Ekpa, has refuted speculation that Tuesday was part of sit-at-home days. Mr. Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, said the man who uploaded the viral video clip had been warned. The Biafra agitator, in a post on his X handle on Monday, claimed the man made the video clip under the pretext of being a member of the Biafra government in exile. There is no sit-at-home tomorrow, Tuesday, Ekpa, a Nigerian Finnish citizen, said on Monday, apparently in response to the viral video clip. He said in a separate video clip that sit-at-home only holds on Monday in the region. IPOB in August 2021 introduced a sit-at-home order every Monday across the southeast to pressure the government to release its detained leader, Mr. Kanu, who is being tried for terrorism in Federal High Court, Abuja. The separatist group later suspended the order in preference for it to be implemented only on days Mr. Kanu appears in court. All right, wonderful people. We don't see that matter where we say it happened. IPOB denied the sit-at-home. Master Simon Ekpa denied the sit-at-home on Tuesday. Now, the question is, who declared the sit-at-home? And IPOB, according to them, are accusing the government of using their agencies to be doing some of these things. Of course, you can see that this issue of sit-at-home and insecurity has been hijacked by unscrupulous elements, and it is going to become tougher. And I will say, let Biafrans because I see that the worst is yet to come. Of course, you can see that what is happening in the southeastern part of Nigeria has gone out of control. Nobody knows who is behind the whole thing. Meanwhile, this is where I'll be winding down the curtain. And if this is your first time of joining us on this channel, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. God bless you.